Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Duke Silver. Today we're going to be playing Amateur. Now this is the new version of Amateur, of course, the nerfed version, so you don't get your level 4 treasure until level 4 now. Which is, I guess that makes sense. Like, I mean, you're probably taking a tempo treasure on 4, you don't get to bully everyone at level 3 now, so, like, I don't think it's that big of a change, but you do have to kind of run with no hero power for a little bit longer, but overall, I think the power level of the early game is low enough that you can generally get by with taking minimal damage. Our shops have been a little bit awkward here. We're kind of just taking a mishmash of stuff, and you can see our opponent here who has the extra stats on their good characters and has found an Elaine as well as a flipped over free prince there. Definitely makes short work of us, dropping us to 25. So taking that big of a hit this early does feel a little bit bad, but hopefully we'll be able to catch up once we hit level 4. Our level 3 shop, not exactly inspiring either. We're just gonna take the dogs here, the golden retriever plus the dachshund. A fair chunk, for a little chunk of stats. We benched our Elaine because I figured with the opponent that we were facing, we would have enough stats to get through without having the Elaine on board, and was hoping to get a sleigh with our parrot, but unfortunately we did not get the sleigh. This turn we pick up I mean, we had the item and the the Snow White there, so I figured we just grab that, and then maybe we can pick up like a couple dwarves. Speaking of dwarves, we get a very easy shop in the next one, just a Consti plus the dagger. The daggers have been nerfed. I mean, have been nerfed. Consti also kind of nerfed. It's gone from a 7/7 down to a 6/6 anyways, and the vampire dagger now takes away 2/1 instead of 2/2 from the character, and then of course it stores away that 2/1. So the scaling's a little bit less on the toughness side. So I guess we're gonna see if that nerf really matters, I guess. Speaking of daggers, though, we're gonna pick up another one, and we get a dwarfy here. I believe in the first shop when we first picked up Snow White, we had a dwarfy that I should have sold for. I know I kind of passed over that. It's kind of in the distant past already, but I just kind of made a mental note that I definitely should have sold like a lane or something at that point for the dwarfy. I mean, we would have had our treasure by now already. We are going to get it here. I mean, we were hoping for Anvil, of course, to try and get a bunch more cheap items, but we're going to settle for a hat here. And hey, look at that! There's another dagger. It's a bigger dagger, so I think we are going to snap that one up as well. I believe that one also has been nerfed. I know like the later game dagger. I think it's available on like level 5 or 6. Isn't nerfed, but the two earlier daggers are the level 3 and 4 dagger. I think the level 4 dagger is it takes 3/2. All right, we managed to tie there. Also, our level 4 treasure, we just took a compass over an Odin's Ravens. Well, just hoping to find more dwarves, I suppose. As we seem to be moving in the dwarf direction. We definitely don't have to be committed to dwarves at this point. Like the daggers can go pretty much anywhere, especially now with Carrot of Yore being a treasure, as well as the pouches it's converting to food stats. And with that in mind, I think we're actually going to pick up a Milkwoman here, just as a speculation. Because if we find like a pouch and we can put a big dagger onto the Milkwoman, then she does retain stats, the food stats, some, or at least a percentage of the food stats that are converted from the pouch. It's a little bit convoluted. Like the regular pouch only gives 25% of your item stats as food stats. So, and then Milkwoman would retain 20% of that. So, like I said, it's a little bit obtuse, but it's still kind of cool that there is we have access to that strategy. And yeah, we get a shop with a pair of Tempies here. I definitely sold the wrong thing here. I should have sold the Elaine. I should have kept the Milkwoman. But I mean, we are kind of firmly in dwarves at this point after seeing the shop of 2 level 5 dwarves. We tie against top board there, so that bodes well for us. The person at the top of the lobby managing a tie at least. And yeah, we get to pick up our other level 5 dwarf here. Just trying to figure out exactly what the optimal I guess placement is, or item management is here between the Javi and the Tempe. Like we don't want to overload our Tempe with daggers quite yet. We want to be taking stats from things that can give stats for now. Like of course we're not going to take the daggers off the Consti, and I think we're going to keep the dagger on the Snow White, because Snow White is getting stats every turn, and then the dwarf or the dagger just kind of takes that a little bit at a time. And we find a smithy, which is fantastic to go with our Philosopher's Stone here. So of course we're going to get +4/+4 on the items in our on that smithy. And then yeah, some more item management here. We really want to get items onto our smithies. I mean, we don't really have any or many small items. The two that we had, we just jammed there. I did end up putting one of the daggers over onto the smithy to try and increase the amount of scaling there. But we get beat up pretty hard by a pretty big Nocturne board, so we do drop to 10. Not exactly in a safe position here. And there's another dagger. I don't know if we're going to take this dagger. We are on level 6 now, so I mean we really want to find the level 6 dwarves. And speaking of, we get our Admiri there, so that's going to slot nicely into our Philosopher's Stone spot. And yeah, we don't care about any of these except for Hero Mask, so we're just going to take the Hero Mask, which is going to allow us to add Sinbad to our hero suite, which is going to double the effectiveness of our compass until we get out of the compass. And then once we get out of compass, both our Philosopher's Stone and, I mean, not that it matters, but our Hero Mask will be amplified. But the double Philosopher's Stone actually on this comp is quite good. Now that we have Admiri, we really need to start picking up as many of the cheap items as we can, and just get that critical mass to enhance the size of our dwarves. There's a hero change spell, but I don't think we want to change heroes at this point. I think there's too many misses and not enough ways to improve. Although we could definitely improve our hero. Like, I mean, the double compass is not exactly great, and honestly, Sinbad with the hero mask is actually not very good, just because like we're never going to be able to get up to like 3 level 6 treasures, because as soon as we lose hero mask, we lose Sinbad, of course. We're going to cast Furnace here, which is going to eat one of the daggers. We are going down an item, which is not great, but we do put 150% of those dagger stats that were on the Consti. I think it was both daggers that were on the Consti, potentially. Anyways, it puts 150% of those stats onto a random item on the Tempe, the one we targeted there. And yeah, you can see what that did for the stats on Tempe. It just kind of jumped right up. Because of course Tempe's aura ability doubles the item stat values. I didn't move the dagger over to the Consti, which is a huge mistake. I definitely should be out of this Snow White last turn. I should have moved the dagger over to the Consti and played the Ori or something. Unfortunately, we're not seeing a ton of cheap items here, but we do need to find relatively quickly, I think. It's a little bit awkward, like, trying to find our items at this point while also trying to get our level 6 dwarves. Like, we have so many things that we need to spend money on. There's another Furnace spell, but I decided not to go down any more items. This is something that we might have to, like, once we get a critical mass of items, then it's something we're gonna have to think about, though, and hope for Furnaces to keep enhancing the size of this Tempe. Alright, we get to pick up another Admiri, which is really nice, and we get a couple more cheap items. We're starting to build a collection at this point. And there's another one in the shop there, the Slamulet. We're definitely going to replace the Ori here with the other Admiri. And yeah, our board, I mean, we don't have a ton of items, so like even our golden Admiri plus regular Admiri is only putting 120 something stats, 130 stats on each dwarf, 130 or whatever. You can see, like, that's not going to be enough. This is going to do a little bit to help here. We're going to get the entrance rune on our Philosopher's Stone Admiri. We definitely would really love to get one of these level 6 triples, though. Get out of this compass and enhance our Philosopher's Stone. That would go a fair ways to increasing our power level as well. And yeah, you can see the double entrance jumped our stats up by a fair amount, getting them all my dwarves over 200 at least. No interest in core fusion in this comp. I mean, technically the furnace is kind of its own core fusion, I guess. Another dagger, not interested. There's another cheap item. We don't really have any item slots left right now, though. Smithy's hammer is really, really good. Of course, you want to cast every one of those you see on the Tempe. That's just going to put +3/+3 on all the characters' items. So, and then of course those are enhanced by 400%. So that's a huge stat buff. And then that's 400% by the Tempe, and then the multis each double the stat values. So you get those these Smithy's hammers go a long way in increasing the stats on our Tempe here. We are down to a top 3 now. There's our multi. So we're going to get to replace our compass and with exactly the treasure that we wanted. Anticipating drumroll, of course. That's going to double all our entrance effects. That includes multi, that includes Smithy, and of course our Admiris. Up until recently, Tempe was also an entrance effect, but fortunately now, I guess technically the daggers are also entrance effects. So I don't know how many permanent stats we have left on our Tempe, but the dagger, at least on the other units that have permanent stats left, are going to scale faster anyways. At this point, or now. Also, now we get the double Philosopher's Stone, so we have two golden Admiris now. You can see again our stats jumping up by leaps and bounds every time we get one of these big upgrades. Up to like 500 per dwarf. I maybe should have just fired off this Ascendance, although like because we have the double Philosopher's Stone, like it doesn't really help us too much, but also that would allow us to buy another Admiri or multi. And then slot it into the doubled Philosopher's Stone. But I think we're going to change heroes here. We are heads up against Leprechaun. We're going to take the pouch, and then we're going to sell something. Or we do have to sell an item, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I mean, we just add more item stats to our Tempe, and then we're going to swap into Aladdin. Like I said, with Sinbad, we're never going to get all 3 of our treasures enhanced because the hero mask is kind of blocking us. But with Aladdin, we can just move our drum roll into our 3rd position, and that's going to amplify our drum roll, giving us another very significant power boost. They don't even really touch our almost 3,000 Tempe, and yeah, we win very handily. But yeah, there we go, a rare dwarf win. Like I said, with this patch, I feel like a lot of the more tertiary sort of secondary strategies that have kind of haven't had a chance to shine have really come a long way, and they have a lot more value, and you can definitely just win with anything now, I think, which is great. Of course, high rolls still happen, obviously, but I think they're a lot more few and far between. And for me, I think it's a lot more healthy for the game. It's a lot more healthy for my enjoyment of the game, for the replayability of the game for me. But yeah. As always, like I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know if you enjoyed that. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I would very, very much appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.